Hi, I'm Marilyn Clark.
And I'm Michael Butzer, and welcome to this week's episode of KCBY.
On this week's episode, we'll take a look at a senior who composes his own music, hoping to someday write movie tracks.
And we will hear about Coppell's Farmer Market's vendor, Joe Baker, and his journey to becoming a chef.
KCBY starts now.
Ah, the power of movies. They make us laugh, cry, and leave us at the edge of our seats. Aside from the storyline, it's the magic of music, which powerfully moves us to feel these emotions. From Bill Conti, the composer of the Rocky films, to James Newton Howard of the Hunger Games trilogy. Few have the courage to conceive the possibility of a career in music composition. Hailey and Elena sat down with one of CHS's seniors who has already taken the first step toward his dream.
I always loved the music that is in movies. That's something that I think is just really, really powerful. The means to connect with people.
Although daunting to most, the task of musical composition started very simply for Matthew Thomas.
I was in the car one day and I thought about writing a piece for the string orchestra.
Once the music was written, Matthew contacted the orchestra director at a local performing arts school and asked if they would be willing to record.
That was the first time that I had ever heard one of my pieces being performed by a large group of people. And that was a very eye-opening but amazing experience.
Thomas admits it's difficult to write music as a teenager, but says his musical foundation in choir, band, and piano has prepared him.
My passion for music definitely derives from the fact that I've been taking piano for a really long time, and then joining band and joining choir. So all these broad aspects of music that have been brought into just one person have really fueled and built that foundation for me.
Piano teacher Laura Benton has been teaching Thomas for the last 5 years and says that he stands out among her other students.
He's just been so exciting to work with every week. He's always been very musical and an excellent student, but since he's been composing, I think he's been even more interested in how pieces are put together and how the composers worked to get different ideas together on paper.
Thomas's dad, Carl, says he's enjoyed watching his son's musical journey.
Watching Matthew grow with his focus on music has just really been a pleasure to watch him get to the stage where he is really creating things.
When you have 30 or more people using expression and really bringing out their individual musicality and bringing it all into one piece is just an experience like no other, especially when you're up in front of them, leading them and showing them how to do it. That's something that's really, really, really amazing.
For KCBY, I'm Hailey Hess.
This past weekend, the Sim Academy hosted their annual Engineering Expo, featuring many prestigious universities and businesses. Ryan, Eric, and Reese provided us with an inside look.
The Engineering Expo is a way for students at Coppell High School to show what they have created in the past months in their engineering classes and clubs. We took a deeper look at the expo and what it provided for the community.
It's a chance for us to show what we do and how what we're doing at Coppell High School ties in with what's going to happen in engineering and science and computer science in college and then in industry, and how all those things tie together, and then we get to show the community why this is so important, what we're doing, and how it benefits their life.
We're actually Coppell parents, and we are representing IBM. I think we've been here ever since the expo opened, and we're trying to encourage students to see all the different areas and careers they could have at IBM and all the different types of engineering disciplines that are of interest. And I really like it that we get all grade levels, and I really also like that y'all reach out to the community. I met a family outside of our great hell.
Art class is dedicated to the principles of engineering, which is the physics of engineering. And Mr. Jakubowski created a curriculum, so where instead of us we're doing problems all day, we're actually building a solar car. So we're just presenting on what we're doing so far on our car. The expo it's amazing because people get to walk through and see not only what the kids are doing, but also just the different colleges that offer engineering.
It's great for our students and for the school. It gives us a lot of exposure. Colleges and companies all around the nation know about us mainly because of the expo. It's not unusual for our students to be remembered a year later by name from recruiters and admissions officers because of the expo.
For KCBY, I'm Ryan Storch.
Most people who stop at the Coppell's Farmers Market do not know about the stories behind the vendors there. Madeline and Hailey caught up with Joe Baker and learned about his background and what brought him to the farmers market and how his success has aided him along the way.
Joe Baker, now at the Coppell Farmers Market, shares his passion for cooking and how it all got started.
I grew up cooking with my grandmother, kind of like everybody does. And then I never grew up in a really populous area. I grew up in kind of Appalachia or in Montana. So we were very limited in what we had, and it just became much more personal and much more intimate, like the relationship with food. I worked for this really famous chef a long time ago, and I was messing up this dish really badly, and he came up to me and he said, "Do you know what business I'm in?" And I thought this was one of those, like, I'm about to just get slaughtered in front of everybody. And he said, "I'm in the business of making memories." And I've tried to take that with me ever since then. And especially as a pastry chef, you know, when you make someone's wedding cake or birthday cake or it's Valentine's Day, even though you're not in that moment, I mean, you're really sharing with those people, and it's something really special.
It's been really cool to watch Joe progress. I mean, he's had such success. It's so awesome to see him on the Food Network and things like that repeatedly, and like cheer him on all the time because he's just the local guy.
Joe has taken his passions abroad by traveling to many countries over the years in which he has gained knowledge and work experience.
In this industry of food, travel is key, and you have to really get down and experience things that you can't learn from a cookbook. You can't really feel the energy by watching it on TV. So it's been absolutely just important that I got there, put my feet on the street, and tasted the food.
When he was 18, Joe joined the Army and served as an Army Ranger sniper. He talks about how his experiences in the military correlate with those in the kitchen.
There's a lot of pressure, a lot of stress. People, you have to do things that are actually physically impossible. When somebody sits down and asks for their chicken cooked a certain way, they want it in 15 minutes. It's typically not actually possible, so you have to think on your feet and adjust and move and react, and it's a lot like being a soldier. And probably the biggest thing is you have to work in a team.
He works really, really, really hard all the time.
So in the United States, I've worked for the Mandarin Oriental, I've worked for the Thomas Keller Restaurant Group, I worked at a catering company in San Antonio. Here in Dallas, I opened the new Omni Downtown Hotel. I was responsible for the entire thing. I worked at the Mansion on Turtle Creek. I opened John Tizar's restaurants, and I taught at Le Cordon Bleu for 2 years.
I actually buy from him every single week. I love his food. Like, I cannot get enough of it.
As cliche as it is, it's a huge part of my life, and it's what I do every day.
For KCBY, I'm Madeline Bockham.
In the first blood drive of the year, CHS supported Carter Blood Care last Wednesday on October 29th. By donating, students have helped make blood transfusions possible. Carter Blood Care will return to CHS in February for a second blood drive this year. For more information, visit www.carterbloodcare.org. Thank you for donating.
Sometimes, before you start the day, all you need is a fresh, local cup of coffee or tea and a healthy breakfast to change your entire outlook. It can boost your performance on almost everything you do. And here's the good news. Zenzero Bakery is less than a minute away from campus, where you'll find homemade pastries, pies, coffee, tea, and free Wi-Fi. Stop by and taste quality you won't forget. Zenzero, on the corner of Denton Tap and Town Center.
Each year, Wilson Elementary celebrates a fall festival that includes food, games, and lots of fun. Macy, Mary Catherine, and Nicolette learn more about how this community event is continuing to evolve.
Thursday night, Wilson Elementary hosted Wilson Fest for the school and their families. Families from all over Coppell enjoyed face painting, pumpkin painting, hay rides, photo booths, and more. It was a huge fundraiser for the kids and families to have the opportunity to give back to the school.
The point of Wilson Fest is actually to bring the community together so that we can commune together, to get to know one another, to have fun.
I'm dressed up as Katy Perry, and because I love Katy Perry. And I like all the activities here, and there's a lot of new ones, like the wrecking ball and the zip line.
It's been going on since my daughter was here, and she's a senior now. I like that they get to come and play and have a good time, and it benefits the school. All the money goes back to it.
Wilson Fest has grown over the past 3 years exponentially thanks to the work of many hard-working volunteers and PTO members.
I'm here because I really like to help the children out. I like to play the games, and my mom works here, so it's a great opportunity for me to get out and help the community.
For KCBY, I'm Macy Wise.
Last Friday, the pep rally was a huge success, with performances dedicated to the senior class of 2015. Abby and Bethany went to experience one of the many milestones for them.
Last Friday, the senior pep rally got everyone pumped up for the last home game versus Colleyville Heritage. Even though this was the last pep rally for the class of 2015, it was one they sure won't forget.
Freshman and sophomore year, I wasn't that into them because I would just watch them and have a lot of fun and stuff like that. But actually when I became a Silver Spur is when I started doing a lot more. I started having to make skits to be in them, all that sort of stuff, and I really started enjoying them a lot more.
This has been a part of my life for 3 years now, or 4 years now, and I'm going to miss it so much. They're just a lot of fun, because being there, going to football games, it really does, pep you up for the game, and gets me excited, and it just fills you up with school spirit.
Pep rallies have made me more spirited.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten more involved in the school.
They made me more of a leader and more outgoing, just being in front of the crowd all the time.
For KCBY, I'm Abby Green.
And now to sports with Kevin.
After a hard loss to Trinity, the Cowboys played against Colleyville Heritage last Friday night in their last home game of the season. These last district games are crucial for the Cowboys in securing a playoff spot. KCBY was there for this decisive game.
Last Friday night, the Coppell Cowboys played in their last home game of the season against the Colleyville Heritage Panthers. In the first half, the Cowboys took the lead 20-0 with touchdowns from Obi Obialo, Charles West, and Parker Wilson. The second half caused the Panthers to trail behind the Cowboys with a field goal and 3 touchdowns, making it 27-22. In the end, the Cowboys proved worthy of a win with a 56-yard run from Charles West, putting the Cowboys further in the game. The Cowboys took the win with a score of 34-22.
My last senior game on this field, the team came out and played hard, so that's a good thing. It's just a sad moment right now.
Tonight is a great memory. It's a good game tonight. It's a close game towards the end. So.
The first half was really good, and people were scoring left and right. So glad we got the win, and we're just trying to move forward.
Last Thursday night, the undefeated Cowboys hockey team took on Rockwall in hopes of increasing their undefeated season. KCBY was there to catch the game.
The undefeated Coppell Cowboys, who were 4-0, took on the Rockwall Raiders. The opening faceoff was won by Coppell. Rockwall turns over the puck in the neutral zone, and Coppell goes on the board early. Rockwall, 2-on-1, but they come up empty. Coppell wins the faceoff. Shot. Blocked. Larson Polk. Yes! Goal. James Ringel. One last goal by Trey Everson off a one-timer, and Coppell dominates Rockwall to stay undefeated as the Cowboys become 5-0.
Last Friday, CHS celebrated our 2014-2015 graduating football senior boys. Emotion filled the stadium as these seniors took Buddy Eccles Field for the last time.
This year's group of seniors, they're a pretty special group since this is my first year to be a head coach, and so I'm really grateful for their support just during the coaching change, and the fact they bought into the new staff, and I appreciate their leadership. Well, it's really made my job easier when you have a great group of kids to be able to come in and help lead in the locker room and off the field. So they've definitely made my job easier. I think they've provided leadership for the team. We had a great senior class last year, and they kind of took the baton and ran with it, and they've done a great job stepping up for the underclassmen. I hope to see them accomplish their dreams. I know these guys have got a lot of goals that they've set for themselves after high school, and so I just want them to be successful.
Thank you for watching KCBY.
Tune in next week and have a great weekend, CHS.